I didn't scream. That's what they didn't expect. When the red wine hit the ivory silk, Claire's hand tipping forward with just enough force to look accidental, just enough theater to seem spontaneous. I watched it spread across my chest like a wound opening in slow motion. The sanctuary went silent, 200 guests holding their breath. Then my parents stood up and clapped. Not nervously, not to diffuse tension. They clapped with the kind of approval you'd give a child who finally tied her shoes correctly. My mother's face was bright, performative. My father's hands came together in 3 solid, deliberate beats. Claire looked at me, eyes glittering, waiting. I stayed very still. Marcus, beside me, reached for my hand. I squeezed once, "I'm fine," and turned to face the guests. I smiled. Not the smile they wanted. The one that dissolves tension and makes everyone comfortable again. A different one. Smaller. True. I leaned toward Clary, close enough that only she could hear. "I will make all 3 of you live in smile hell." Her face flickered. Confusion, then dismissal. She thought I meant something petty. A scene. Retaliation at Thanksgiving. I didn't. We continued the ceremony. The officiant stammered through the vows. I said "I do" with a stain shaped like a continent spreading across my ribs. In the photos, I'm smiling. In every single one, I'm smiling. People said later I handled it with such grace. Grace. As if enduring humiliation quietly is a virtue. At the reception, my mother approached with a glass of champagne and a light laugh. "Well, that was unfortunate, but you didn't let it ruin things. Good for you." As if I'd passed a test. As if I should be grateful for the opportunity to prove my resilience. Clary came by later, touched my shoulder. "Sorry, sis. These things happen." These things. My father never mentioned it. He talked about the market, the band, the salmon. He was already past it, the way you step over something unpleasant on the sidewalk. I didn't argue. I didn't cry in the bathroom. I danced with my husband and thanked the guests and cut the cake. I was perfect, and I didn't call them for 2 weeks. That's when my mother started texting. First, "Hope you're settling in. Love you." Then, "Haven't heard from you. Everything okay?" Finally, "This silence is childish." My father left a voicemail. "Enough now. You made your point." Clary sent a message in the family group chat. Is she seriously still mad about the dress? They thought I was sulking, punishing them with absence the way I used to when I was younger, before I learned it never worked. They expected me to come back the way I always had. Tired of the Cold War, willing to pretend nothing happened if it meant being included again. I didn't respond. Instead, I called a lawyer. My grandmother died when I was 19. She left a trust, not enormous but significant. Enough to mean something. It was supposed to be divided between me and Clary when we turned 30, managed by my father in the meantime for family needs. I turned 30 last year. Clary turned 32 years ago. Neither of us had seen a cent. When I asked about it once, my father said the funds were allocated appropriately, and that I wouldn't understand the complexities. My mother said Grandma would have wanted the money used to keep the family strong. Clary said nothing, but her business, an online boutique that barely turned profit, suddenly had a new storefront and a warehouse lease. I let it go, because that's what I did. I let things go. Not anymore. The accountant I hired was thorough. It took her 9 days to pull the records, cross-reference the withdrawals, and map where the money went. Her report was 32 pages long. The summary was much shorter. Over 8 years, nearly $200,000 had been redirected. Home renovations for my parents. Car lease. Clary's business expenses, categorized under family support. All technically within my father's authority as trustee. None of it disclosed. None of it equitable. The trust terms were clear. Equal distribution at 30, unless both parties agreed otherwise in writing. I'd never agreed to anything. My mother called on a Sunday morning. Her voice was warm, practiced. "Sweetheart, this has gone on long enough. Come to dinner. Let's talk." "Okay," I said. She exhaled, relieved. "Oh, good. 6 o'clock. I'll make your favorite." I hung up and looked at Marcus. He was watching me carefully. "You're sure?" he asked. I picked up the folder from the kitchen table. 32 pages, printed and tabbed. Yes, they were already seated when I arrived. My father at the head of the table, Clary scrolling on her phone, my mother bringing out a roast. The scene was aggressively normal, designed to reset us, to make me feel like the disruption. My father smiled. "There she is. Thought you'd forgotten where we lived." Clary didn't look up. "Glad you're done pouting." My mother set down the platter. "Let's just have a nice evening, shall we?" I sat, placed the folder on the table. No one looked at it immediately. My father started carving the roast. My mother poured water. Clary finally glanced over. "What's that?" "The trust," I said. The knife paused. "I had it reviewed," I continued. My voice was calm, even, by an accountant and an estate attorney. "There are some discrepancies." My father set down the carving fork. "That's private family business. It's a legal document. It's not private." My mother's hand fluttered to her throat. "Honey, this isn't." "The terms specified equal distribution at 30, I said. "I'm 31 now. Clary's 32. Neither of us received anything, but there have been significant withdrawals." I opened the folder, turned it so they could see the highlighted sections. Renovations, vehicles, business loans, all categorized under discretionary family support. Clary's face flushed. "That's not," Dad said. "Dad had authority to manage the funds," I said, "not to redistribute them unilaterally without consent. Grandma's will is clear." My father's jaw tightened. "You're really going to do this? Over money? Over a trust that was meant for both of us?" My mother's eyes filled. "After everything we've done for you." "I'm not asking for an apology," I said. "I'm asking for what's mine. You can redistribute the funds per the original terms, or I can file for a formal audit and involve the other beneficiaries Grandma named. Aunt Lindsay, Uncle Paul. They'd be interested to know how the family assets were handled." Silence. Clary pushed back from the table. "This is insane. You're doing this because of a dress." "I'm doing this because you thought I'd smile and let it go," I said. Again. I stood, left the folder on the table. "You have 2 weeks to respond. After that, I'm filing." I walked out. My mother called after me. My father didn't. It's been 2 weeks since that dinner. Their lawyer contacted mine. There's ongoing negotiation. My mother sent one text. "You've changed." I haven't responded. Clary's business is under financial review, not because I reported her, but because once the accounting started, other things surfaced. My parents are quiet. The family group chat is a graveyard. Marcus asked me last night if I was okay. I said I didn't know yet. I'm not celebrating. I'm not lighter. I don't feel victorious. But I'm also not performing anymore. Not smoothing things over. Not pretending the wine was an accident. The applause was support. The years of being managed and minimized were love. I don't know what comes next. I don't know if we'll ever sit at a table together again. But I'm done smiling through it. And that, I think, is enough.